Great good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. This is the first of a series of podcasts that we're going to do with Jim Barrett and people from Road Scholar Trucking, one of the great trucking firms in the northeastern United States, one of the great trucking firms in the country.
The GOAT.
The GOAT.
The greatest of all truckers.
I'll go for that, Jimmy. Good.
Brady and Road Scholar.
And Jimmy's going to join me. And once a month, we're going to come to you and we're going to talk about Road Scholar, its services, the trucking industry, all the things that you probably already know. But from Jimmy Barrett and Road Scholar's perspective, you'll get to know the company better. You'll get to know their philosophy. You'll get to know their mission. And then we're going to break it down after today, which is just really an introduction to the company for some of you. And we're going to talk about specific services that really only Road Scholar can offer. So, but for now and for today, I'm Bob Cordaro, and I'll be hosting these. I'm a local radio guy and character. And
understatement.
And Jimmy Barrett, who's my guest today, and will be my guest on all of these, is going to tell us about Road Scholar. So as we start, Jimmy, Road Scholar is a Dunmore-based trucking company.
We are.
With terminals throughout the Northeast United States.
Massachusetts, New Jersey, Philadelphia, Allentown, Denver, Pennsylvania, Dunmore, soon to be Columbus, Ohio.
Great.
And
now,
we are GOAT, the greatest of all truckers.
I like that. Now, you have a long background in trucking. I mean, you can drive the truck and you were a driver. You were in truck sales. You were in management of different sorts. And now you started your own company. So after your employment in the industry, between driving and sales and so forth, you decide at some point you're going to start Road Scholar.
Bobby, I was the vice president of sales for another company, which subsequently failed. And I found myself being the chief apologist, running around saying, I'm sorry, I apologize, didn't go the way it should have done. And it be just really frustrating. So I said, I can drive a truck. Let's go figure this out ourselves. Had some customers that gave us an opportunity to take a peek at their business. And they started us off.
So those relationships helped you begin the company. And,
without a doubt.
And you started with, is it the proverbial, we started with one truck?
We started with $10,000 and one lease truck.
Wow.
And if we got to $10,010, we're out of business.
And what year was that?
1988, September, late.
Okay. So you've been through recessions. You've been through inflationary spikes. You've been through every condition that a business, particularly a trucking business, can see.
Yeah, we've been through the storms, both financial storms, the literal storms, the road closures, the accidents, unfortunate injuries. In the life of our business, we had to bury two of our own, very, very regrettably. And once you get to that podium in that church and you got to give somebody's eulogy, it bears with you and you end up doing your job far more intensely than you did before.
Now, the name Road Scholar, I don't know if this is why you came up with it, but to me, it denotes and it means a company that has really analyzed and done their homework about customers, customer needs, and the trucking industry.
Yes. Road Scholar, we tagged ourselves as the intelligent solution, right? Somebody's not afraid to go look at a problem and try to design a solution around somebody's needs.
So, so obviously, I mean, you haul things, but you're involved in logistic solutions.
Of course, every day.
Yeah. Now, you start the business, it gets underway. Obviously, your growth is phenomenal. And where does Road Scholar stand today? How many trucks, drivers, all that?
We have about 120 power units, about 700 trailers, about 125 drivers, and about 50 staff.
So it's a good sized company, but you're there. hands-on. Jim Barrett's there, hands-on every day. Family members are there, hands-on every day to make things happen and to answer for things that happen.
Absolutely. I'm a person who I want to be patent. I want to be at the head of the charge, right? So I don't want to ask a guy or a gal to do something I'm not ready to do myself.
Now, let's fast forward to today. The company grows. There's always growing pains. There's always issues. I mean, that's the thing. People, and the people we're speaking to, the shippers, they know and have seen everything themselves.
We've all thought we've seen it before, but the last 24 months, brand new uncharted waters.
Yeah.
Everything. For instance, back in November of 2020, we ordered 16 new power units. We still don't have them. I'm told I cannot get trailers. I can't even put an order in until January of 23. That's the place for the order, not a delivery date. It's chaotic, to say the least.
So the problems that Rhodes Scholar addresses every day, conquers every day, overcomes every day, are also the problems that your customers are facing in various aspects of their business.
Sure, we're a fire department, right? Many instances where customer has a fire, they call us, let's go put it out. Sometimes it's repetitive business, and you get to get a nice cadence with it, and you get good at it. But typically when you get an onboarding of a new customer, it's because they just had some type of crisis. And when I say crisis, problems. One of their customers got upset or one of their people left them. So they're trying to come to people like myself and say, okay, how can we fix this? And it almost never is just about $1, right? Our target market is a mid-cap company that's looking to have market penetration, that values the relationship of getting new accounts and maintaining the old ones existing is where we excel.
Now, you've talked to me in the past about, and I go back to Rogers Trucking where my father worked. So it's always been a business that fascinated me. By the way,
I got a phone call from one of my drivers in Massachusetts 2 days ago. Did Joe Biden's father drive for the ex company I worked at? I said, I have no idea.
I think he was a salesman, but yeah.
I don't know.
Well, taking, the business through the eras that not only preceded Rhodes Scholar, but today, you've seen the business evolve. And one of the things that Rhodes Scholar has done, and without mentioning specific customers, you've taken the security and the integrity of the product you're delivering to another degree, to another level.
In many instances, Bobby, a trucker in this case has the market cap of his customer in his truck. If that trucker intentionally or unintentionally allowed something stupid to happen with that product, a food cargo, pharmaceutical cargoes, weapons, and that customer became page one, their market cap would get hurt significantly. The 2 weeks following Tiger Woods' run-in with his wife, the aggregate market cap on his 5 major sponsors went down by $2 billion. So if you let bad things happen, you're going to hurt your customer. Right? So we really take the responsibility of managing the assets, the cargo, to the highest level.
And Rhodes Scholar says to customers and potential customers, we're in this with you.
Absolutely.
And we're going to protect you and the integrity of your product, the integrity of your company, any way necessary, any way you need us to. And that's the value add.
It's significant value add. And when you bring this to their attention, when you bring it to a buyer's attention, that there's risk beyond just leaving their shipping door, right? Then I own it. I'm acknowledging it straight up that I own the responsibility of managing your customer, managing your market cap, managing your inventory.
And for an example, just for giggles, you're hauling a food product.
Got it.
There's not just spoilage, but the integrity of that load is penetrated.
If it were compromised, bad stuff would happen. Most cargo thefts in this United States do not get reported because they don't want that on page 1 or page 3, right? So the company, some of the food people, some of the farmer people, they'll gut it up and suck it up and just pray it doesn't get to page 1.
Now, those are the kind of things you say,
Give it to me.
give me the problem.
I want it.
I want that problem.
Yeah, I got vetted out by a security company from a pharma relationship we have. And I asked the fellow, I said, what's the big exposure our drivers have? He says, if they mess it up, somebody will cut their throat. So I took a picture that I found online and I shared it with some of the drivers that you can't screw up in this one. Here's what could happen. It's about you as well as the cargo. So it's been an interesting voyage and a great evolution in terms of product development, our product, right? Not all truckers are created equal. Yes, we all have the same highways. We all have the same driver inventories. We all have the same variation of trucks. But how do you approach your business? I approach the business as though I'm a stakeholder in your business.
Mm-hmm. So security and protection and integrity of your customer's product is premier, but you have an additional philosophy at Road Scholar. Just for example, I see your trucks and some of them are just, the trailers are absolutely gorgeously painted and made up first for customers who ask for it and require for it and like that marketing as you traverse the Northeast United States.
We do some customer branding, yes. And we also started years ago what we call our 10 million mile campaign of hope and awareness. And it all started on a Friday afternoon. My wife asked me to go on a breast cancer walk Saturday morning. I said, Deb, I go to work every Saturday. And she called me a chauvinist. I said, Deb, I go to work every Saturday. And I got thinking. So that week, I went to one of our dealers. I said, I need to buy one trailer. Okay. I want it pink. And I had done in a week. When she pulled in on Monday morning and she saw that, because that works for me. All right. And I said,
after a cold weekend.
So you had a 2-hour walk on a Saturday morning. I have a 365 day a year billboard helping the American Breast Cancer Foundation.
Now you do this for probably 20, 30 charities.
North of 50.
Mm-hmm. Because I've seen the trailers and they're for all tremendous causes. So a philosophy has come and developed as Road Scholar has developed.
It becomes cultural.
Yeah.
And the people embrace it. The drivers truly embrace it. They really like getting behind one of these trailers and having somebody come alongside, wave at them, take a picture, honk their horn. They embrace the culture.
And you've embraced your community and you've embraced the region and in fact, all of Northeast Pennsylvania through Road Scholar.
I'd like to think so.
Yeah.
You strive for it every day.
All right. So I think the customers you have and those that we're marketing to and trying to speak to, I think they can maybe appreciate that there's something distinctive about Road Scholar.
It's every organization has its own genetic makeup. I give you that. Some are better than others and some are worse than others. We work every day as though we're in last place. Right? And as such, you're going to work your buns off.
Mm-hmm.
3 years ago, we got a whole bunch of snow. Had a bunch of drivers book off. I got it. I woke up. I got to work. I'm a bit upset because we booked off and now we're not doing what we're supposed to do. And it came to me, man, I'm doing this the wrong way. Why am I full of anger? I went and got a list of everybody who came to work. And they all got a $50 Home Depot gift card and a thank you note from me.
Nice.
Yeah. Instead of going, why aren't you here? Right.
So you've evolved.
Oh, I've matured a lot.
And now
you've got a long way to go.
Yeah, but you've got family members who are an integral part of the company.
Yes.
Who are an integral part of the philosophy. And it's a family company. When I go around Road Scholar, it's not just your family members who are family. It's everybody there.
Yes, it is. There's a lot of good bonding that goes on inside there.
Yeah.
A lot of One of the things that we lost, though, a little bit that we're gaining right now when we did the work from home thing with the pandemic, we found out that we didn't have that water cooler talk.
Yeah.
We lost that, right? But now it's starting to rebound. It's coming back to us where we can share ideas. We can share mistakes. We can explore something new.
So if you took, I guess, or looked at several pillars of Road Scholar Trucking, they would be a family-oriented philosophy, which extends to your customers.
For the most part, yes.
And then quality over quantity. It's not a price-based, although you'll compete on that level, but you say, we're the quality guys. We're the ones you need when you need it done right.
We have 4 criteria that we look for in a prospect or in a customer. We want them to be investment grade, meaning they can afford to pay us so we can pay our drivers and our mechanics and our salespeople and our dispatch staff and our customer service staff wages that are appropriate for their jobs. I don't want to make money off their back, right? I owe it to them.
Mm-hmm.
So we would need investment grade customers. We're also looking for customers essentially in the next day markets. There's all sorts of financial reasons to do that, but essentially in the next day market. We also look for, here's the most important criteria, customers that are risk adverse. They don't want to get a complaint phone call from their customer. They don't want to have a complaint call that product is damaged. They're risk adverse. If we will not be good fit for a risk tolerant customer, somebody that will be tolerant to mistakes, damaged freight, late delivery, stuff like that. We're just not a good fit for that.
So you say, look, and that goes back to the quality argument. That's a big part of the quality argument. Look, we're quality. We will protect you. We'll protect your load. We'll protect your
brand,
company,
your brand.
Now, how do you see, because you've worked very hard at having a family atmosphere among disparate personalities and all of that from your many employees and drivers. How does that atmosphere you've worked so hard to cultivate and that you've captured, how does that help your customers?
Well, they have continuity of drivers and mechanics. We have very little turnover. In an industry where 100% turnover rate per year is pretty usual.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Nobody has discharge power in the company. Right? There's if we have a discrepancy between a dispatcher and or a driver and or mechanic, everybody takes a time out. Go home, take the day off. You're going to get paid. We'll figure this out the next day, right? And it works. So it's a big safety net. No one has to walk around like they're walking on glass.
Mm-hmm. So, all right, when I look at as just a prospective customer, I would say, and that's what this is for, why Road Scholar? Well, I mean, there's tons of trucking companies. Short haul, they do this, they do different philosophy, different whatever. Why Jimmy Barrett? Why Road Scholar? Why can they make things happen for my company?
I have 178 reasons for that. It's all on payroll.
Mm-hmm.
I have 178 belly buttons that work for us every day of the week, and they take it earnestly. They execute well.
Mm-hmm.
I have 120 trucks, right? I have one CDL. How many trucks can I personally drive? One. So I need 119 good friends that trust me.
Mm-hmm. Now, someone wants to come to Road Scholar and they become a customer. They're going to be talking to, well, even in your drivers, essentially a family member. But in the end, they can come to the president of the company who's been in this business his whole adult life, and they could say, Jimmy, we have a problem here, or a problem occurred.
We do it all the time.
And then you and your team will jump on it and get it done.
And probably reward that person if there's a problem that has merit, right? Every person in the company has my cell number, and it works 7 days.
And that would extend to customers as well.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, in succeeding weeks, we're going to talk about and sort of take each area of the company that you want to focus on, the types of customers you want, the types of goods you'll haul, the types of offerings you have for everyone within each category. But tell me and tell our potential customers, who are you looking to serve? Like what types of industries? We talked about risk averse. I want to recap. You want, people that are very concerned about company image, company brand, and quality of product. But there's probably categories that we're going to do in succeeding months.
We enjoy working in the food business, food relationships. We enjoy working in the pharma industry. We enjoy hauling. We haul hazardous chemicals, right? Typical hazard class 8, but we're good at it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people won't touch that at all, right? It costs more money to do it. Your exposure to pollutants is higher. But in last year, calendar year 2021, we did about 75 to 80,000 pickup and deliveries. I don't think we had 3 freight injuries, 3 freight claims that I know of.
So the quality extends to the customer always.
Yeah. And now think about this. In this marketplace where supply chain is starved, if you take somebody's product and you do damage to it, now the guy wanting it, he can't get it because it's in backlog to begin with. So you can go to the account base and say, listen, I have a history of not damaging product. That's extremely valuable in this marketplace because you can't just go reorder it and get it. Go back to what I said about the tractors I ordered a year and a half ago. I still don't have them.
Yeah. But I guess another valuable commodity, well, more than a commodity. Yeah. Another valuable product and offering of Road Scholar is when the inevitable bad thing happens, whether it's a storm or whatever.
Jump on it.
Jump on and solve it.
Jump on it and over communicate it. Yep. Don't run from it. Fess up, pony up, get a solution for it.
So Road Scholar, as a company, you've got a philosophy, you've got beliefs, you've got a culture that's been created over decades' time, and that can benefit these customers and potential customers.
Well, it should. Their dividend should be my heavy performance, protecting their interests.
So we've talked a little bit why Road Scholar and so forth, but if you were to make sort of a final pitch to the people we're speaking to now, the decision makers we're speaking to now, for Road Scholar to be their hauler, what would that be?
I'd have to catalog it that I have 178 people I depend upon currently that will have your back. Again, one person's not going to do it, right? My marketing material is not going to reinforce what the drivers have to do and the mechanics have to do. Through all this pandemic, every driver had to come to work. Every mechanic had to come to work. Every dock worker had to come to work, right? They executed, right? They had some risk. They knew it, but they all showed up. They ponied up. It's just our culture. It's a community culture. And as I said earlier, it's a safe haven. No one has to worry about getting fired up. Going home to your wife or your spouse and say, I just got fired. That's not going to happen. Right? Let's look at what's going on in your life and figure it out how to fix it in your work life.
And that always benefits the customer.
Without doubt.
Yeah.
I never get calls about, don't let this driver come on my property. Just the opposite. Please send Frankie back to me. Mm-hmm. Right? He's the best. Right? And that happens frequently.
Yeah.
And then these drivers take ownership of the accounts.
Yeah.
It's almost like they have this symbiotic relationship. It's their account.
Mm-hmm.
And it's wonderful because now you can set it and forget it and go on to another deal.
Yeah. So Jimmy, from the customer standpoint, they know a little bit about Road Scholar. We'll be delving into that in succeeding months, succeeding podcasts and shows. What do they do? Let's go back to the basics. What do they do to contact Road Scholar to say, I'd like to talk to you about your services?
The easiest part is roadscholar.com, right? Or pick up the phone and call us. And we'll be glad to be at your doorstep. And if I'm not a good fit for somebody, I will tell them. I'm just not a good fit, right? There are some people that excel at different aspects of the business than I do, that we do. We know what we do well, right? We don't pretend, we contend. So we're comfortable in that space. So if we cannot execute something well, we're not going to gamble on it, tarnish 32 years of history, right, and mess it up.
So, hey, let's go to roadscholar.com. Let's find out what we have to say about ourselves. And then let's get in contact with the salesperson who would be on that website or the boss himself.
Boss is a 4-letter word. We don't use it.
Okay.
We don't.
I like that.
If you could ask anybody in the business, boss is a 4-letter word.
So what do we call you, Jim Barrett?
I don't know. I probably couldn't repeat it.
But you're available.
Of course.
You're available to these customers from the beginning of the relationship right through.
Every new hire gets my phone number.
All right.
They're welcome to call it. And believe me, good things flourish from some of those complaints. Trust me. Right?
We've been talking with Jim Barrett, Road Scholar Trucking president, and the man who created that company. Jimmy, any other thoughts to throw in?
As we go forward, I'm going to want this to be an instrument where we can educate the audiences about some of the aspects of where we think we excel and see if we can generate an interest in them getting in touch with us, and do some, maybe even some more account penetration. They may hear something from me that they didn't know. I didn't know you did that. Right. So that's
so your plan
as education,
as we continue to distribute this product through email, through whatever, and on our own YouTube channel, you're going to be letting people know just a little more in a more personal way what Road Scholar offers and what's available to customers.
I'd like to talk about it in different business segments, the chemical business, the precious metals side of stuff, the security stuff, the pharmaceutical transports. They all have their own aspect of care and custody, right? So we want to dial in. I won't go to a podiatrist, right, if I need an eye, ear, and nose guy. Right? So we have these specialty segments that we've trained ourselves in, that we're really good at, right? So I wanted to use this conduit as an instrument to perk up that knowledge that maybe people aren't familiar with.
Very good. Well, that's your primer course on Road Scholar Trucking, one of the foremost transportation firms in the country, focused and primarily serving the Northeast United States.
And remember, we're the GOAT.
They're the ghost.
The greatest of all truckers.
We'll be talking with Jimmy Barrett in succeeding months about different product categories, different services, and different types of businesses that they feel they would be preeminent in serving. But for today, Bob Cordaro with Jim Barrett, Road Scholar Trucking. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Bobby.